Have you ever seen a woman you actually liked and your mind just goes totally blank? Well, I did, and this happened a lot to me in the past. Let's break down exactly how to never relive that situation again. So most guys overthink because they're afraid of rejection. This fear, in return, creates pressure, which, as you guessed, leads to overthinking, resulting in silence. And understanding this cycle here of how fear of rejection, pressure, and overthinking are intertwined is the first step. I want you to shift your focus from trying to impress to genuinely being curious. Because what happens when you're trying to make the conversation perfect is, as we just said, you put a lot of pressure on yourself and you don't allow yourself to tap into your highest, most noble, most present self. But when you're genuinely curious about the girl, and I'm saying like genuinely curious, are you like actually interested? Because the amount of clients I had, and it was pretty clear that the girls they talked to, they didn't give a fuck about. And so it's very difficult to actually have conversations that go somewhere when you don't care about the person. So I want you to be genuinely curious about the person you're talking to. And if not, you're not talking to the right people, or you're just a complete sociopath. And in that case, this video might not be for you. So this is really the mindset. But if I had to give you an actionable sort of framework that you can use something called the OARS framework. You want to use open-ended questions because the reason you probably have those interview conversations that don't lead anywhere is because you're asking yes or no questions and there's no tree branches for that conversation to actually flow into something else. I'll give you an example. If you talk to a girl and you ask her, oh, so do you like this movie? Yeah, I do. Or no, I don't. But if you just look at her and you're like, do you remind me of this actress? There's something about you that looks exactly like her. Like there's so many different ways for her to answer. And so put yourself in her shoes and think to yourself, okay, how much value am I giving with what I'm saying? Now, the second thing, and this is what the A stands for, is affirm. You want to affirm what she says. And this is just an overall psychology and communication sleazy tactic. But when you repeat to people what they just said, they feel hurt. And this is a technique that many salespeople use, many politicians or many charismatic people who had to use communication to obtain what they want. And so when you just repeat the thing she just told you, she feels like, okay, this guy is listening. This guy is actually interested in me. And it just makes you much more interested. Like it makes you much cooler. Like nobody wants to be around someone who doesn't listen to them. That's fucking annoying. Even me as a guy. Like, do you want to be around people who don't listen to what you have to say? No, you don't. And the third one, this is what the R stands for, is reflect. So you want to reflect on what she says to deepen the conversation. So let's say she tells you, oh, yeah, I'm actually an introvert. Let's say you asked her about her personality. Are you more extroverted, introverted? You can look at her and be like, yeah, that's really interesting because on one side you look very shy, but it seems like you're able to be social when you want to. And so when you're able to create depth and develop on top of what you just said, again, you're making the conversation more deep, more interesting, and you're building a deeper connection, which is going to help you with that girl. And the last one is summarize. You basically want to summarize the points she talked about to show you're really involved and active in the conversation. And so let's summarize actually the framework. So you want to ask open-ended questions. So you're basically creating all of these tree conversation branches from the start. It's like your top of funnel conversation hack. Why would you limit yourself to some boring yes or no question? No, ask open-ended question. The second thing is you want to affirm what she says. The third one is reflect. So you want to add some depth on top of what you just said. So I gave you an example before. And last but not least, you want to summarize her last points or her main points to show that you actually care. So how does this look in real life? And I'll give you a real life application here. I feel like some professor in school talking about dating and pickup. I wish I had a teacher like that. So let's say this is you. This is probably the shittiest drawing of a stick man. I was actually pretty good at drawing as a kid. But that being said, the first step is you want to start with a simple observation or question about your surroundings, right? You just give a situational comment. Let's say you see that girl in public on the street. Hey, Why are you running like that? Let's say she's running, she's jogging. You're running way too fast. Hey, just a second. So make a situational comment that actually makes sense. Don't stop a girl who's running if she's walking. Don't be this guy. Don't be this one guy watching this video. It's like, Johnny told me I need to tell girls to stop running. Don't do that. If she's swimming, don't tell her to stop running, okay? Now, based on her responses, let the conversation flow naturally, right? If she tells you, yeah, I'm actually jogging. Oh, okay, that's cool. I'm jogging here as well. And so that system is just 10 times less sexy, but just 10 times more efficient than if I told you the perfect line. Because that way now you have a system to actually be able to respond to anything that comes to you. You're able to start the conversation, you're able to flow. And the third step, perfection. It's about connection. And I can tell you for a fact, women will chase the guy they had a genuine connection with and not the guy who had the perfect conversation. Because I know guys who have the perfect conversation and they still end up in the friend zone, they never go home with the girl, and they never make something happen. So if you're ready to have conversations that actually lead somewhere and you want to master the art of conversation, then make sure you watch the next video. It's a free training, and I'll see you in the next one.